It says it's recording. So, Lynn, you watch that for me. Well, good evening. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. One of my best friends is on this whatever this is, this Zoom call, and I am so excited. You can see how techie we are.
Really,
we're just so proud to be here. Nancy and I have known each other a long time. We've been through quite a bit, done a lot of things together, and she's an awesome lady. And so I'm so excited that she agreed to be on the call and to share what she did this past Saturday. But before we do, I want to mention a few things. Oh my goodness, y'all, leadership is just, it's coming around the corner. But believe it or not, if you're sitting there and you're like, well, gosh, I don't know if I got enough. Well, let me just tell you. Do you know how much you can do in just a few short days? And we don't have that. We've got a week and a half or more to go. We've got, what, 13 days, something like that? So, okay, all right, let's think of what can happen. I went Fast Start Gold in 48 hours. That's 20 people. Oh, okay, so that's a lot of points or a lot of credits there. Think of how the frenzy that was created whenever we said that membership was $17.76. And the frenzy wasn't created because the membership was half price. The frenzy was created because of the excitement that all the ambassadors had. So get out there, share. And if you're like, okay, I'm not sure who else I can share with, then go back to your customers and ask for referrals. Go to your ambassadors, ask for referrals, because chances are that you have not tapped in to some of the people they know. So we want you there. Nancy wants you there. Hey, Keith and Jerry want you there. Okay, so, y'all be sure to come. And the other thing I want to mention to you is two more things. One is there's going to be a retreat that I have been invited to, and it's going to be fantastic. It's close to Lexington, Kentucky, and the information is on Time to Excel. So y'all, I want you there. It's going to be fantastic. You can share a cabin, and what would be best is like the cabins come where 10 of you could share a cabin, and they give you a 20% discount by saying Plexus. So get that information and see what you can do. You can share rooms. It's going to be fun. Did I say it's going to be fun? But it's going to be so informative. And there are going to be 2 opportunity meetings there as well. And the last thing that I want to mention to you is this. First of all, congratulations being on the call, because you are a leader. You are a leader. If you have one person on your team, you're a leader. And if you're saying, well, it's just me, you know what? You're a leader because you have chosen to be on this call, and I firmly believe that you are going to be leading. So with that being said, let's make a habit. Let's make it a habit that our team says we're going to do our PV. We're going to put in our $100 by the 16th. Now, I plan on having mine done on the 1st of each month, which I've already done. And I would challenge you to do the same. But if you're like, well, I really need to wait for payday. Well, guess what? Plexus payday happens on the 15th. So go ahead, get your order in, and it's over and it's done with. And I think if we all train our team to do the same thing, it's going to be easier to calculate at the end of the month where you're at. And as your team gets bigger and bigger, you will see how much easier it is to be able to calculate whenever all your team members are putting in their PV by the 1st of the month, or at least by the 16th. So that is my one tip for tonight. And so let me continue introducing you to our great speaker that's going to be on. She is Emerald Ambassador Nancy Evans, and she is a fantastic leader. She is gifted at training. She's gifted at being organized, and we can all learn something from her. So Nancy, thank you for taking time out to be on this call.
Well, thank you, Deborah, and thanks for having me on the call. It's my pleasure to be here. And just to kind of give those of you that may not know what this is all about, this last weekend, my husband Keith and I and some of our team had the opportunity to go to Dallas, Texas, to participate in a workshop that was conducted by Leslie Zann. And over my years in marketing related businesses. I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of events like this, and some in the corporate area and then some in like home-based business type stuff. And I have to say, it's one of the better ones that I went to. I was writing like a wild woman, taking as many notes as I could. And so when Debra asked me to be on the call, I looked back over because it was a jam-packed day. We started at 9 o'clock and we finished up a little after 3, and she took 2 20-minute breaks, and that was it. And we didn't have lunch break. I mean, we could go get whatever we wanted. And so, of course, my husband Keith was so sweet. He went and, got stuff for us. And so that we could stay in there and work and take notes. But when I look back over my notes, because there was so much I could have shared tonight, I felt like the thing that I thought most people might benefit from was a section of material that she called the power of pace. So I just ask you tonight, are you satisfied with the pace of your business? I think if we're honest, everybody probably would say no. They'd like to be going a little faster. They'd like to be seeing themselves advance quicker, things like that. And especially if you fall into that trap of comparing yourself to others. Now, we all know that that's not the way to go. We all know that's not what we're supposed to be doing, but it's human nature for us to compare ourselves sometimes. But let me just tell you, if you're doing that, stop it right now, because that is nothing but pure, unadulterated self-sabotage. I mean, it really is. And so you don't want to do that. So instead of comparing yourself to someone else's journey, why don't we look at becoming masterful at prospecting and sponsoring?
Wow. And
take immediate action. We all know that when we sign up a new ambassador, and we may have some new ones on the call, but we all know when we sign up somebody new, that the time between that new ambassador's enrollment and their first win in the business, if that's a long period of time, then they're much more likely to quit. By the same token, if they have some early wins on their Plexus journey, they're more likely to stay committed. So you want to have them you want to help them have, rather, those early wins so that they stay connected and they stay committed. Because network marketing is driven by urgency. Truly it is. It's driven by urgency. And so, for that new ambassador, you want to help them soar to silver or go fast start gold. And guess what? We need to do it too. We need to be doing those things ourselves. So, when you're talking to new ambassadors, you want to set the bar high and encourage them to really jump out there and grow their business. So why would you want to do that? What's the benefit of going fast? Well, number one, they have the opportunity to recoup the money they invested when they purchased their welcome package and make their money back. They have some sales, maybe they have a new ambassador, whatever. They have the opportunity to earn that back. Going fast builds your belief. Going fast builds confidence. It's more fun, for sure it's more fun. But the number one reason that you want to go fast is to create your story.
Wow.
Okay? Because that story is created when you are going fast and you have success, because everybody needs their story of success. Right? So, okay. So we agree that it's better to go fast. We all need to pick up the pace in our business. So what's holding you back? Do you lack courage? Are you fearful? Are you settling? Does this affect your confidence and belief in yourself? Or maybe I should say, do you allow it to affect the confidence and belief in yourself? Those are just some of the things that could be holding us back from stepping up our pace and reaching the goals that we have for each other. And for ourselves. There's several little things that were aha moments for me, things that I took away, and I'm fixing to give you one. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I would suggest you write this down because I love this. And somewhere in this office, this is going on the wall. I'm just going to tell you, it's going on the wall. But here is what she said that just really spoke to me. What would courage have me do? What would courage have me do? You know, so if you are in a fearful mindset, that could be a powerful little quote for you to have somewhere in your personal space. What would courage have me do? And so, you know, she talked too about what stops your pace. Okay, so maybe you've rocked along, you have pretty good pace growing your business, and then things start slowing down. What stops? What causes it to stop? One thing that causes it to stop is information overload. Think about it. You sign up somebody new, and their welcome package comes. They get the cute little success guide, all that info in it. Then the sponsor sends them an email with some attachments, maybe multiple emails with multiple attachments. And then the sponsor's upline, well, they send an email with a few attachments, and they get added to 15 different Facebook groups, and whoa, you know, they're like, oh my goodness, I can't do this, I can't do this. So sometimes information overload will slow down someone's pace because it's just too much for them. Another thing is texting and Facebook messaging instead of taking action. You know, she said we are living in a technology-driven world. That's a well-known fact. But there's power in the personal touch. And she recommended, rather than hiding behind a text or a Facebook message, that we utilize our voice. Okay, call them so you don't get them. Leave them a voicemail. Use a voice text if you choose. Make it personal. Make that connection with your person that you're trying to connect with. Sometimes we get stopped. The power of the pace gets stopped because we don't know what's next. Okay, we don't know what the next steps are. So that's something that's fairly easily remedied. And then the last, but truly the most number one thing that stops your pace is you're not talking to enough people. Not talking to enough people. Now, are we working? Sure we are. We're working our business. We're doing activity. We're doing the things we think we need to be doing to grow ourselves. But the reality is, and here's aha moment number 2 for you to write down. The number of people that you're talking to isn't enough to support your goals. The number of people you're talking to isn't enough to support your goals if you're not steadily growing toward that goal. You know, I've heard Sheila Medina say many times, the difference in her and someone else is she's just talked to more people. You know, that kind of goes hand in hand with what, you know, this little quote is. The number of people you're talking to isn't enough to support your goals. Because, y'all, it's all about consistency of action. And, you know, that consistent action plants seeds that will come to fruition at some point. But if you're not planting seeds and you're not doing those types of activities, then there's nothing to come to fruition. And, you know, she used the illustration of a funnel. Y'all all know what a funnel is. And, you know, comes in one end and goes out the other. Well, if you're not, by your consistent action and activity, feeding that funnel, there's no results to come out the other end. So you got to keep your funnel full, and you got to be consistently contributing to it. Now, here's the thing about your funnel, is you're working on your funnel. Don't slow down your prospecting pace to match the decision-making pace of the people in your funnel. Okay? So you got people in the funnel, and they're maybe not quick decision makers. You're not going to hang around and wait on them to make a decision. You want to continually feed that funnel and be putting more and more people into it. Okay? So don't slow your pace down waiting on somebody. You keep filling the funnel. You keep adding to it. And the decisions will get made, and the people will follow out, and the results will come. Now, that's some of what she shared on the power of pace in the event. Because I invested in some of her materials and stuff, I have actually done a little bit more study on her PACE program. And so in doing so, I'm going to share some additional information that she did not cover on Saturday. And in this, she gives 5 strategies to manage your pace, more or less. to make sure that you're keeping your pace where it needs to be in order to grow to the goal you have set for yourself. And so she offers 5 strategies. Number 1 is to master your month, M-O-N-T-H, your month. Because a lot of times we're just kind of complacent at the first of the month. We're celebrating what happened last month, or if it wasn't a good month, we might be having a pity party for a few days, whatever. But we're just kind of out there the first, week or so of the month. And then the second week kind of rolls around, and then somewhere around the second to the third week, it's like light bulb moment. Ooh, I got to get to work. This month is marching on. And sometimes if you're reaching for a goal by month end, you may even actually be in panic mode by this time because you hadn't been doing what you needed to do. So she said there's 3 things you can do to master that month. Number 1 is take immediate action and front load your month. In other words, the first 2 weeks of the month, you want to have as much activity as you can have in those first 2 weeks. That's activity for product business, for selling product, for sharing product. That's business opportunity activity, and that's also follow-up activity. Remember, the fortune's in the follow-up, so you got to be sure that you are including follow-up activity in that. And what happens is not only are you going to get some results from all that activity, but you're also going to find that that activity is going to generate activity for you in the second half of the month. Okay? So, sometimes it takes a little while to get some momentum going. So you got to get some stuff going the first of the month so it carries you on through the rest of the month. Second thing she suggests you do is set a goal for mid-month volume. How funny, Debra, that you addressed that at the beginning of this call. But she said set a goal for mid-month volume, not just the end of the month. She said meet or exceed your minimum amount by the 15th. Okay?
Same day, too.
That's right, you sure did. And so, for instance, right now we're in Leaders Retreat qualification. So if you were going for the maximum points, that's 150 points for $1,500 of PV. So if you're setting a mid-month goal, then the logical mid-month goal would be 750, right? And so that sets your bar for what you should do by mid-month. And then it makes reaching your end of the month goal much easier. And then the third thing she recommended in mastering your month is to purposefully, I'm not saying that too good, purposefully close your month. Always make a commitment to exceed your prior month's activity so you're moving your business forward. Don't settle. Even if you've reached your monthly goal, you don't just kick back and put your feet up on the desk and say, woohoo, got it done, 5 days left in the month, and I'm done. I've done what I said I was going to do. No, you keep reaching, you keep growing, you keep feeding that funnel and see just what you can get done those last few days of the month. Who knows what might happen if you keep reaching for it. So that's number 1, master your month. The second strategy is run with the Fast Start program. Set the bar high for your new ambassadors. Best advice you can give your new ambassadors is to go fast, because early success fuels the fire for belief. And you have to set the example. You have to pretend you're new, and you have to go fast yourself. And so you want to run the race with your new ambassadors. The third strategy that she recommended is, it's funny, I have done this, I wish I knew how many years. I don't know how many years, but it's been well over 20. I'm not even gonna guess how long, but I know it's been well over 20. She says, color your calendar. Mm-hmm. That's what she says, color your calendar. What she means by that is you want to set up some parameters for your time. Set hours of operation. This is not limiting like you might think. It really sets you free. You want to set time for your personal prospecting, set time for your personal sponsoring, and then you want to set hours to support your team. Okay? And then you color code your activities. So I do this all the time. I do this every month. And some of the suggestions she gave, you can use whatever colors you want to, but some of the suggestions she gave is prospecting would be a green highlighter. Your sales efforts could be orange. Your team activities like trainings, conference calls, events, things like that could be pink. Your office work could be blue, emails, reports, Facebook posts, those kinds of things could be blue. And then your home or personal time would be yellow. And what I love about it, and I do this every month, like I said, I've been doing this for years and years and years. When I open up my calendar, the color that jumps off the page, that's where my time's going, because that color is prevalent on my page. So it's a real easy way to see what you're doing with your time. And the thing that I love about this particular exercise is it helps you be proactive rather than reactive. And if you're on my team and you're on this call, you have heard that phrase before because it's one of my favorite. It does help you be proactive about your business. And, you know, time management is an area where a lot of people struggle because we're all busy people. And sometimes it can be hard to manage our time and get everything in. So this is just a little exercise that you might try for the month of September and see how it works for you. It might help you a little bit. The fourth strategy that she offered was to work with the willing. Learn how to identify, or learn to identify who to spend your time with, because this is crucial to business development. Not everyone is going to want to work at the pace you do, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. But what you must do is not slow down your pace to match theirs or to work with them. You got to keep your pace where it needs to be. Okay. You all have all heard the saying, the speed of the leader is the speed of the game. There you go. There's no judgment here, just awareness. People will tell you who they are as much through their actions as they will their words. You know, and if you think about it, that's so true. You want to look for motivated people. You don't want to be working with people that you have to drag. You want to be working with motivated people, because it's easy for people to say what they're going to do, but do their actions match their words? Work with the willing and love the rest. Okay? If you want to move yourself forward and pick up your pace, you got to learn who to work with. And here's another little aha moment for me that I liked. I don't know, I won't say it really was an aha moment, but I like the quote. You aren't looking to motivate people, you are looking for motivated people.
Ooh.
Isn't that good? You aren't looking to motivate people, you're looking for motivated people, because otherwise it is slowing you down. Amen?
Amen.
Yeah. And then the fifth strategy that she shared was consistent sponsoring. And actually, this should be number one, but it is the fifth strategy, consistent sponsoring. Because this, she says, separates the wannabes from the top earners. Because sponsoring is a process, and it's a process that can be learned, it can be mastered, and it can be duplicated. So think about it. How many people have you sponsored in the last 90 days? Because you can't reach your goals without consistent sponsoring. It's the lifeblood of your team. Now, you can't control how many people will be interested in Plexus, but you can control how many people you share it with and reach out to. And that's all about keeping that activity and that stuff feeding into that funnel. So you have the control over that. So remember, many times your activity is not enough to support your goals. So you want to make sure that you're consistently sponsoring and that your activity is matching that. And then the last little thing that I want to share, that's all of what I have for y'all from Leslie tonight, but I thought I would share something personal with y'all that has been helpful to me. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. My little secretary is behind me, and I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but in the middle of that little top thing of that secretary is the gold picture frame. And what I'm fixing to read you is in that frame, because I have had this little poem with me for a number of years, and I have always found it to be very helpful. And it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, doesn't matter where you are in life, really. We don't always reach those goals the first time. A lot of times we start over, and that's okay. You know, the point is you just keep going, because the only way you're going to fail is to quit. So if you have to start over and reset the goal, so be it. So here's my little point. When you've trusted Jesus and walked his way, when you felt his hand lead you day by day, but your steps now take you another way, start over. When you've made your plans and they've gone awry, when you've tried your best and there's no more try, when you failed yourself and you don't know why, start over. When you've told your friends what you planned to do, when you've trusted them and they didn't come through, and now you're all alone and it's up to you, start over. When you've prayed to God so you'll know his will, when you've prayed and you don't know still, when you want to stop because you've had your fill, start over. When you think you're finished and want to quit, when you've bottomed out in life's deepest pit, when you've tried and tried to get out of it, start over. When the year has been long and success is few, when December comes and you're feeling blue, God gives a January just for you. Start over. Starting over means victories won. Starting over means a race well run. Starting over means the Lord's will be done. Don't just sit there. Start over. And I love that poem. And you know, we typically think of January as being our, New Year's resolutions. Everybody's on a high because it's a new year. But you know what? For me, a lot of times September is really a better new year. And maybe that's just a personal thing because it just happens to be my most favorite time of the year. I just love the colors and the weather and everything about it. And so September for me a lot of times is more of a renewal than January is. It can be a time of reflection because, when things are changing, like the leaves changing color and things like that, it can really be a time to turn over a new personal leaf and to move in a little bit different direction. Sometimes we just need that emotional or spiritual shot in the arm that the changing of the seasons and the starting over, starting a new school year, those kinds of things bring. And the beauty of autumn resolutions is nobody knows them but you. There's no champagne, there's no confetti, there's no horns, there's none of that stuff. It's just for you. It's just for your self-reflection and for your focus. And so, the thing about the September resolutions is that they really only ask that you be open to positive change. And so tonight I'll leave you with the thought that be open to that positive change. I can try to do that, and so can you. And so if you're ready to take your business to the next level, to pick up your pace, then I challenge you tonight to look at what you're doing. Celebrate what you're doing well. Look at what's stopping you. Be honest with yourself. Overcome it. Look at that business funnel. How much activity are you putting in? Because you got to be putting some stuff in there to have something shake out as results. Okay, so look at that. Look at the strategies that I share with you, the 5 strategies of how to manage your pace. And, consider incorporating that into your daily work habits. And then lastly, if it's time for you to start over, then start over. And let autumn and September of 2015 be your new year. That's it, Deborah. Back to you.
That's awesome. I hope everyone took notes like I did. I'm telling you. And I've had some people to say, okay, I couldn't keep up. She talks too fast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and I want everything she has to say. So I've already had requests for your notes.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I can give you, some of this stuff, it's funny because some of this stuff, I had to put my eyes on so I could see some of it, but some of it is just chicken scratch from this weekend. So, I've typed some of it up, but not all of it.
I hear you. I always want to sit next to Patty because I want to make sure Patty's always with me because she can write. Let me tell you, that girl can write quick, and she hears everything they say. And she's doing 2 or 3 things at one time.
Yeah.
So she always has. She can type out every one of her notes, but whenever I get through, like you said, mine is chicken scratching. I just about barely can't read it. So anyway.
Well, I have abbreviations and all this stuff that nobody could read but me. So, you know, that's the problem.
Don't give us that, okay?
No, you don't want that.
Thank you so much. I learned an awful lot, and my aha moment was I think it was the funnel thing. I mean, it's something you know, but sometimes it takes someone else to say it. And interesting today, you should say that tonight, because I went through all of my text messages from Facebook, and I'm thinking, okay, I didn't follow up. What happened to them? And I'm thinking, okay, I have all these people, and you know, I attempted to put them in the funnel, but I didn't complete it. They're not in my funnel, so therefore nothing came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you for that. That was absolutely huge for me. Well, good night, everyone. We appreciate you being on the call, and y'all be sure to give Nancy lots of love and hugs and kisses, and thank her very much. And Nancy, till next time, thank you again, and hope everyone has a great week. Good night.